Have you noticed that there has been a growing interest in you lately? It seems that people are seeking information, trying to understand who you are and what you represent. This interest is no coincidence. As someone set apart by God before the creation of the world, your light, essence, and what you carry within provoke an almost irresistible curiosity. Remember Romans 8:29, "For those God foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son, that He might be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters." Indeed, someone is devoting time and attention to investigating your life. It's as if they feel a deep need to understand your purpose, as if they are trying to unravel a mystery. This curiosity is more than superficial. People are searching through social media, looking up your name, trying to locate you on platforms like Google, Facebook, TikTok, and others. Knowing your name or what you do is not enough for them. They want more. They want to understand the essence of who you are. For the chosen one, this attention can often seem intriguing, or even uncomfortable. But remember, God has predestined us to be His adopted children in Christ, Ephesians 1:4-5, and this calling does not go unnoticed. Your presence emanates an energy that even unintentionally attracts attention and questions. To be chosen means to carry a mission, a special mark, something that those around you sense without understanding why. Your light, your truth, and the purpose God planted in you evoke curiosity, admiration, and in some cases, even envy. Your journey as a chosen one arouses a curiosity that few understand, and your presence brings forth various feelings in those around you. Would you like to understand why your energy attracts attention, inspires some, and unsettles others? Continue watching to discover the true impact of your light, the reason behind its fascination, and how this calling affects the lives of those around you. Before we dive into this reflection, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. This way, this message can reach more people who are also seeking a meaningful path. This investigation by those around you may go beyond simple curiosity. It's not just about recognizing a familiar face or knowing your routine. Often they are trying to understand what makes you stand out so remarkably. They may even want to understand your source of strength, or what enables you to remain firm, even amid difficulties. As 2 Thessalonians 3:3 reminds us, "But the Lord is faithful. He will strengthen you and protect you from the evil one." This divine empowerment is what makes us resilient and, at the same time, piques the interest of others. You may have noticed that this investigation has no concrete purpose. It seems to be a search driven by fixation or the need to fill some void. But know that nothing is accidental in the life of a chosen one. This curiosity surrounding you reflects the strength and light you carry, which become increasingly perceptible to those around you. When we are anointed and identified as God's own, our presence elicits distinct reactions, ranging from genuine interest to discomfort and even obsession. Perhaps without realizing it, you began to withdraw your energy from these connections and environments. At some point, you may have distanced yourself from circles in which you were once very present. As you move away, people who once relied on your presence begin to feel your absence, and the impact of that withdrawal creates a void. In many cases, they can't even pinpoint why they feel incomplete without you, but they feel your absence. Your absence is a constant reminder of the light you brought into their lives. Many chosen ones, upon understanding the depth of their purpose, end up distancing themselves from places and people that no longer resonate at the same frequency. By doing this, they draw back their energy, protecting and strengthening their own path. This natural movement can confuse and even destabilize those who don't understand the reason for your absence. When you withdraw, they often turn to others to try to understand what happened to you, a desperate attempt to fill the void you left behind. This distance is necessary because God places spiritual protection in our hearts to help us remain strong in our mission. Your light must be preserved and directed only where it will be appreciated, where your presence will bear fruit, and where your purpose will find fertile ground to flourish. Protection and discernment are divine gifts, and by using them, you strengthen your path and commitment to what God has entrusted to you. As a chosen one, you may face challenges and resistance from those who were once close to you, but were not there to support you. Some individuals approach only to observe, and eventually try to sabotage your growth. Many pretend to be friends, but are secretly waiting for an opportunity to exploit your vulnerabilities. These individuals go unnoticed until you awaken to the reality of your mission and understand that not everyone beside you is an ally. However, by awakening to this truth, you break the chains that held you back. God reminds us that He places a seal on us, granting us protection and security amid adversities. When you identify and distance yourself from these negative influences, your light becomes even stronger, and people who were once around you with unclear intentions become completely directionless. Without access to you, they are disoriented, losing the control they believed they had over your life. This is a transformative process. When you see the truth about who is truly by your side, you become even more steadfast in your walk. The chains that once tried to bind you are broken, and your freedom and independence become evident. But with this freedom comes the need for caution and discernment. It's not about living in fear, but about understanding that, as a chosen one, your protection lies with God, and it's crucial to be mindful of the environments and people with whom you share your life and experiences. It's important to know that by removing the control these people had over you, you awaken to a freedom they cannot understand. When God places His seal on us, He protects, anoints, and equips us for a journey of light and truth. This seal signifies that we belong to Him, and therefore, we are strengthened to move forward, even if those around us do not comprehend. This newly discovered freedom may attract looks of strangeness, but also an even more intense interest. People who can no longer understand what you do or where you are become obsessed with the lack of information about you. Before, they knew your every move, your preferences, and your weaknesses. But with these chains broken and your newfound awareness, you become a mystery to them. This lack of knowledge consumes them, leading some to act obsessively in an attempt to recover the information they lost. As a chosen one, you should embrace this new phase. It's an opportunity to live authentically, expressing what you truly feel and believe. It's time to leave behind the need to please and to adapt to what others expect of you. For a long time, you may have hidden your essence to make others comfortable around you. But that time has passed. Now, your commitment is to your truth, your purpose, and what God planted in your heart. Being protected by God does not mean you should act recklessly. God equips us with discernment to recognize when something or someone is not aligned with our purpose. He grants us wisdom so that we can identify traps and thus distance ourselves from environments or people who may pose a spiritual threat. However, this protection also requires responsibility on our part to keep our eyes open and our spirit vigilant. The union of divine protection and discernment allows the chosen one to walk their journey securely. This protection is not only spiritual, but also physical. Many times, our intuition alerts us to something, and that is the Spirit of God guiding us. He enables us to be attentive to who is truly by our side and who only pretends to be a friend. Discernment is a precious tool that keeps us safe and enables us to continue progressing, regardless of the difficulties that may arise. It's not about living in a constant state of alert or fear, but about understanding that, As a chosen one, your light is a target, and that light must be protected. Thus, to be a chosen one is to live authentically. This is the greatest shield you possess against any external influence. By remaining faithful to who you are, you strengthen yourself and become immune to any attack or attempt to undermine your confidence. People who once managed to manipulate you by sensing a vulnerability now encounter a fortress. Your truth and authenticity are powerful weapons, and by using them, you automatically repel those with impure intentions. This authenticity is also an act of faith. When we are true to who we really are, we are reaffirming our trust in God and the purpose He has designed for us. This path is not easy, as it requires courage to face others' opinions and judgments. But remember that God chose us before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in His presence. Ephesians 1:4-5. And this holiness and blamelessness manifest when we remain firm in our truth, without diverting to please others. Some people around you, when faced with this new authentic version of you, may feel uncomfortable. They were used to a version of you that adjusted to the environment, that sacrificed its essence not to disturb others. But now, with this clarity and commitment to your truth, you no longer have the obligation to keep others comfortable at the expense of your peace. The light of a chosen one has a profound effect and often disturbs those who still live under shadows of uncertainty or lack of purpose. The presence of the chosen one reveals truths, illuminating areas others prefer to keep hidden, which inevitably creates discomfort. In certain environments, you may notice looks of disapproval or feel a subtle resistance. This reaction isn't something you provoke intentionally, but rather a natural response to the brilliance of your essence and the commitment you carry. This sense of discomfort others feel may be a reaction to the journey they themselves avoid taking. Your commitment to truth and divine purpose reminds them of a life they may not be ready to face. After all, the mission of the chosen one is to be holy and blameless, and that sanctity and dedication may seem incomprehensible to those who live without commitment. Understand that this is part of your journey. Not everyone will understand your role or accept your mission, and that's perfectly fine. Not everyone needs to be by your side. As a chosen one, your purpose is not to please or fit into every environment, but to fulfill the calling for which you were created. By living in your truth, you will naturally illuminate the path for those who have the courage to follow a similar path. Remember, being chosen is often a solitary experience. The chosen one frequently feels isolated, as few people can truly comprehend the depth of their mission and the intensity of their journey. However, this solitude is not abandonment. It's in fact a way to draw even closer to God. When we are chosen, God invites us into an intimate relationship with Him, where we find strength and purpose to carry on, even in challenging times. This solitude is where you can find strength and align yourself more closely with God's plan. Often, it's in these moments of apparent isolation that you're most able to hear God's voice and feel His guidance. This connection is essential for your journey, as 2 Corinthians 1:21-22 reminds us. Now it is God who makes both us and you stand firm in Christ. He anointed us, set His seal of ownership on us, and put His Spirit in our hearts as a deposit, guaranteeing what is to come. This divine seal makes us strong and unshakable, even when the world around us feels uncertain. Embracing solitude as part of your path means recognizing that God is always with you, guiding each step. When you understand this, you begin to see these moments as opportunities for spiritual strength and personal growth. Every moment of solitude becomes an opportunity for renewal, where you can reaffirm your purpose and reconnect with the mission God has placed in your heart. One of the deepest marks of a chosen one is a heart turned toward God and dedicated to fulfilling His will. When God chooses us, He plants within us a desire to live in accordance with His divine purpose. This desire leads us to seek God's presence continually and align our lives with His will. It's a commitment that reaches beyond ourselves and extends to all those around us. The heart of the chosen one is, therefore, a transformed heart, one that seeks to act with compassion, mercy, and love at all times. This love shows itself in everything we do, in our words, actions, and attitude. It is the foundation of our purpose, the source that gives us the strength to carry on, even when circumstances are difficult. This dedication allows us to see life differently, appreciating what truly matters and setting aside what is superficial. This dedicated heart also serves as a source of inspiration to those around us. When we live according to God's purpose, our lives become examples, and those who observe us are touched by our faith and commitment. Often, you may not even realize the impact you are having, but know that, as a chosen one, your life is a light that shines and illuminates the path for others. As a chosen one, it is essential to protect your purpose. In a world full of distractions, it is easy to lose oneself and drift from the path. However, it is your responsibility to stay focused on what truly matters, avoiding the distractions of the world that could steal your attention and weaken your commitment. This doesn't mean you need to isolate yourself, but rather that you need to establish healthy boundaries that allow you to stay strong on your journey. These distractions can come in many forms: people, situations, or even thoughts that try to pull you off course. The chosen one is someone who knows how to recognize these distractions and prevent them from taking over their life. Protecting your purpose is an act of faithfulness to God and to the mission He entrusted to you. By staying focused on your path, you are honoring the purpose God placed in your life and ensuring that nothing and no one can take it from you. Protecting your purpose is thus an act of obedience and reverence to God. It's recognizing that, despite the temptations and distractions, God's calling in your life is more important than anything else. Every time you choose to stay focused, you strengthen your faith and reaffirm your commitment to the divine mission. As someone separated and empowered by God, you should know that your presence impacts your environment and those around you, and this impact is not always welcomed. There is a natural resistance to what is divine and true, as the light of the chosen one often exposes shadows that others prefer to keep hidden. This opposition may come from close individuals, acquaintances, or even situations that seem to arise to test your faith and perseverance. The chosen one carries a presence that transforms the environment in which they are, and often, this transformation ignites interest and fascination in others. This happens because the energy of the chosen one reveals something that can't be explained solely with words. Those who observe you, even from a distance, sense that there is something different about you. What many see is a light that seems to escape ordinary sight, something that provokes subtle yet constant restlessness. They may not fully understand what this light means, but they feel it touches on something they cannot completely identify. It's a mystery that captivates and holds them. This fascination intensifies precisely because the energy of the chosen one needs no explanation. It is authentic and comes from the connection they maintain with the divine. As Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden." Your presence shines brightly, standing out naturally and drawing the attention of those around. It is this sanctity, this commitment to God, that often leaves others intrigued and even obsessed. The energy of the chosen one is a reflection of this divine calling, resonating with a strength that transcends superficial understanding. People around you may be affected by this presence without fully understanding why. They may even find themselves observing you more frequently, feeling drawn to uncover this enigma. Often they try to find a logical explanation for this attraction, but the truth is that the energy of the chosen one is not something that can be rationally comprehended. It's this mystery that keeps people fascinated, seeking to understand why your presence influences them so much. Deep down, they sense they are encountering something special, a connection that goes beyond the ordinary, something that only God's calling can provide. The fascination you inspire may not be in words, but in silence. The chosen one's journey is often a silent walk, where they connect inwardly with divine strength. And this silence, this tranquility, becomes irresistible to those around, for in a chaotic world, a serene presence stands out. God places in your heart the intention to live purposefully, making your life a reflection of divine peace and truth. The serenity of the chosen one becomes a light that shines amidst chaos, drawing in those who cross your path and feel captivated by this presence. Yet this serenity is not always understood. For some, it sparks admiration and a desire to follow your example. But for others, it provokes discomfort and even resistance. The energy of the chosen one, their trust in God, and their focus on divine purpose reveal things that many avoid confronting within themselves. At times, you may notice people approaching you, attempting to draw from your calm, as if they need it to soothe their inner chaos. They seek solace in your peace, a temporary relief for their own restlessness. But as the chosen one, you understand that your peace originates from a source that cannot be transferred or shared so easily. This peace is born of a personal and intimate relationship with God, a connection that each person must pursue individually. Those who feel addicted to your energy are, in truth, responding to a spiritual longing they haven't fully comprehended. And while they try to approach your light, the chosen one must remain steadfast, guided by the understanding that their mission is to inspire, not to bear the spiritual burdens of others. As a chosen one, you have been anointed for a unique mission, and part of this mission involves protecting the divine energy placed within you. The fascination others feel is merely a reflection of the divine presence in your life, and it is your duty to preserve this light so it continues to shine authentically and purely. In a world filled with distractions and external influences, safeguarding your energy is a way of honoring the calling that God has entrusted to you. Often, protecting this energy requires setting clear boundaries. By doing so, you not only protect yourself, but also help others recognize the need to seek their own personal connection with God. When they cannot find in your presence what they seek, they may come to realize that what they truly desire can only be found through their own spiritual journey. Additionally, this protection makes you less vulnerable to external influences, especially those from individuals who may not fully grasp what you represent. When you acknowledge and live by this truth, no one can take away the strength that comes from God. Your energy, therefore, is a reflection of this sacred identity, and protecting it is an act of respect toward the divine purpose. The resilience of the chosen one, their capacity to remain steadfast even amid adversity, is one of the most compelling aspects for those around them. This spiritual strength is rare and remarkable, inspiring some and puzzling others. How can someone be so strong and determined, even in difficult circumstances? The answer lies in the source of their strength, their faith and trust in God. However, this resilience is not a reason for pride. The true strength of the chosen one resides in their humility and dependence on God. They understand that, without this divine connection, they would not be able to continue. It's this humility that keeps the chosen one on the right path, unshaken by the expectations of others. When you remain humble, you allow God's light to shine through you, without interference from ego or earthly vanities. Those who witness this humility are deeply moved, recognizing that true strength is not about elevating oneself above others, but about serving the divine purpose with a pure heart. And this awareness generates even greater attraction, as they see in you a model of how to live a life guided by a higher purpose. However, the chosen one must remember that this attraction is not an end in itself. It is merely a means to inspire others to seek the same connection with God. To be a chosen one is also a call to serve. Your energy, your presence, and your example are ultimately forms of service to God and humanity. By persevering on your path and remaining faithful to what God has entrusted to you, you serve as a channel of divine grace. Those drawn to your energy, even without understanding why, are being called to transformation, and you are the instrument through which God touches their lives. This service, however, requires you to continue strengthening your faith and commitment to God. As you progress, you will increasingly become a point of reference for those around you. They will observe your journey and draw inspiration from your choices. This reinforces the need to keep your focus on the divine purpose, as each of your actions will have an impact. Your commitment reflects your love and trust in God, and this trust will draw others to the truth and peace they so deeply seek. You were chosen by God for a special, unique, and significant mission. However, this mission demands courage, perseverance, and unwavering faith from you. On your journey, challenges and difficult moments will inevitably arise, but always remember, you are never alone. God is with you every step of the way, guiding you, strengthening your faith, and granting you the ability to overcome any obstacle that comes your way. The divine choice that falls upon you is no coincidence. It is a sacred call to a purpose that transcends human understanding. God reminds us that we were chosen before the creation of the world, destined to be holy and blameless in His presence. This means that